All right, N.O.G.A.S podcast. I'm over here with at 10K Studios with the king himself, the king of Miami, Uncle Luke. You're a living legend, man. Appreciate it. And you're still doing your thing. What's your goal here for opening up the studio right here?
Man, it's about music. You know what I'm saying? I just think the area needs a little studio with a nice little chill vibe, not too big, not too small. You know, and we just have so much work we're doing, you know, at Luke Records itself. I mean, we got probably a catalog about 1,000 songs that we're just gonna take a lot of the stuff that we haven't released, you know, re-release stuff, some of the music, you know, and remix some of the music for what people are doing right now today. And then at the same time, we're gonna go and discover some new artists.
Great. I see you chose this great location of Wynwood. How surprised are you, being a Miami native, of how gentrified it got, how much it's changed?
Oh man, it's amazing because, you know, as a kid, you know, I lived 8 blocks away, you know, from here. So, you know, to see the place, you know, see the neighborhood just becomes an artsy type neighborhood, you know, when it wasn't no art. You know, only art it was back in the days. It was, you know, you had
Bloodstains.
You had Overtown, and Overtown was very art, you know, music inspired, you know, so to be able to see things come up like this is a great thing.
Yeah, it's gotten really different. They have those double-decker duck tours buses now coming around the hood. Right. Do you ever see that? And do they ever point at you and say, "That's Uncle Luke right there"?
Oh man, I've did some events in some areas, and they brought the bus, and I'm like, where all these people coming from? And then, you know, the people came and they enjoyed themselves.
Nice. Now, yes, you have the plaques on the wall here. You say you have a catalog of some unreleased stuff. Any release date type of expectation for that, or you don't know yet?
We're gonna try and drop quite a few things in the fourth quarter, you know, which is get ready to come around, you know, somewhere around October. You know, we'll probably drop one new single in the next month, you know, and you know, hopefully that does good. But then at the same time, you know, the catalog is the main thing, because we already do quite a bit of movie work, where we'll license the music to movies, we'll license the music to major corporations to do jingles and for commercial uses and all that. And so just introducing that stuff, putting it on the internet with this platform right here, you know, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I got records on that was never heard of Trick Daddy. I got records that was never heard of Pitbull. You know what I'm saying? It's like we got a massive amount of catalog of things that people have never heard, and we're just gonna spice it up, you know, and get it ready and put it out. I mean, that's why it was important to do a studio, because I probably would have paid for somebody else's studio 10 times if I would have just went and used the studio. So, you know, just to bring the studio and the whole vibes back at Luke Records, that's what's important.
That brings me to my next question. The rumor of a 2 Live Crew movie that circulated last year or the last 2 years. Is there any truth to that? Anything kind of circulating? Because you guys deserve it, you know, just as much as NWA and all that.
Well, it's actually I have a movie that I did a movie deal with Lionsgate. Okay. So it's just, you know, we're in the second script writing of the strip, you know, and it's just a matter of getting that done. You know, movies, if people know about movies, they'll announce it. But then at the same time, it takes at least a couple of years to develop it.
Yeah, to find a director.
Yeah, you gotta do the script first. Everybody gotta agree on it. I gotta agree on it. The producers gotta agree on it. Then the studio gotta agree on it, and so it's a lot of work. It's a long process. So hopefully we'll start shooting that thing probably by next year.
All right. Now, besides maybe Michael B. Jordan, who else would you like to play you, Young Luke?
I don't know.
Black Panther.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's just so many great, you know, African American actors. You know, it's just so many guys out there acting good.
Anyone come to mind? Because I think
I don't
sometimes.
Listen, I don't know. Yeah, and then if I did know, I don't. You can ask my wife that. She'll tell you. She's like, oh, this guy here should play you. And then I'm like, okay, well, who's gonna play Nikki? You know what I'm saying? And who's gonna play the other characters? You and the people that influence you in the movie. Who's gonna play members of the 2 Live Crew? Who's gonna play JT Money? Who's gonna play Pitbull? Who's gonna play all these guys? It's gonna be interesting.
That's gonna be fun. That's what we went to school for film. All that is very meticulous, and it goes about 10 rounds of script writing. So we know how crazy and meticulous it is, for sure. So, no, but we can't wait. You have a huge following that's ready for that.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's great because what we're doing here at N.O.G.A.S Records is we're really turning the corner, and we're doing more television than we're actually doing movies. I mean, we just finished a show that'll be on Showtime. That'll come out, at the end of at August. Starz? No, it's on Starz. I'm sorry. Yeah, we just finished a docu-series that'll be on Starz. We did that with LeBron James and his company. And
what's it called?
It's called Warriors of Liberty City. It's based on my youth football program. And then we have another script that we just finished that hopefully be on Netflix or one of those other carriers. We're in negotiation with quite a few companies. So that's why it was important to do the studio, because we got so much music that we need to add onto these projects. It's just gonna be a good thing. Yeah.
Now, I saw yesterday something about Pitbull, and like before he was Mr. Worldwide, and he came up off of you. You brought him in, and it's so crazy and beautiful his transition from being just like us, like a regular Miami kid, to being the global phenomenon that he is now. So that's one of the reasons why you're like considered such a legend in the rap game, that you just, even back then, you brought on this Cuban kid or whatever. What do you think about this new kid, the other Spanish kid coming up now, the one with the rainbow hair and all that? Tekashi, 6ix9ine. What do you think?
Hey, look, let me tell you something. I mean, one thing about music, it's not necessarily what the producer or the artist think about a person. It's really what the fans think about it, because the fans are the ones who gonna pay for the music. And I always was taught by old, music guy. He said, look, you're not in the record business unless you sell one record. And that's when you're in the business of selling records. So it's not really about, people ask me all the time how I feel about this certain artist. And I never answer that, because that's not my business. That's the fans. If the fans like them, then that's cool. If the fans don't like, then that's cool too.
Well, I only asked that because the impact that Pitbull made, so positive. It's very positive, and if it wasn't for you, really, that wouldn't have happened. But I hear what you're saying about the numbers and all that. So that's what you focus on these day and age. Do you think 2 Live Crew Luke would have had a different kind of reaction or towards this guy, or anything that's going on now in mumble rap? Do you think you would have had a different outlook on it?
No, I don't. I always take that approach. You know what I'm saying? Because people criticize me, Miami hip hop, back when it was not a such thing. You know what I'm saying? And I've always been a person to say, look, who's anybody to define what hip hop is, and who is anybody to define, what is good music and what is bad music.
Sure. All right. Thank you very much, man.
Thank you, man. N.O.G.A.S podcast. Hey, baby.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.